Oh, Pankama she wongide, Omade Wikie de go, Ide na hikte Wiblahan, Pankama she ad Ashbahan, De Wanoke, Larry Wright Jr., Ushni Ponkabi. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here. My name is Larry Wright Jr., Executive Director for the National Congress of American Indians. And who knew that it would take coming to Vegas to be here with you, to get away from all the chaos and everything and relax in this environment compared to what's going on in DC. It is an honor to be up here on stage yet again, serving Indian country and working for the betterment of our peoples and working with each and every one of you to protect tribal sovereignty and improve the futures of our communities. I've had the privilege of serving in this role for the last 3 years, and it truly is an honor. But I want to thank Chris James and his team, the board at the National Center for having us here and the partnership that we have with them and NCAI. I also want to recognize any of the executive committee from NCAI that are here. I know there's a couple, so I want to thank them for their support as well. But while working to protect sovereignty is an honor, it's also tireless work, as you all know. It's hard to even think back to 1 year ago and think about all the positive outcomes that have happened because of the past few weeks since President Trump has taken office, and we have been met with an unprecedented amount of action, and much of this action has directly or indirectly impacted our communities and has had real consequences for our sovereignty as well. Although it's been chaotic, I want to make it very clear that NCAI wants to stand with all of our tribal people and is prepared to help amplify your voices and defend our tribal sovereignty. And I want to be clear about what I mean by that. First, NCAI is prepared to work with the new administration and the new Congress on our shared priorities for the betterment of our people, our communities, and our lands. And second, NCAI is prepared to stand up and remind the administration and the new Congress of its treaty and trust responsibilities when they take action contrary to these responsibilities. NCAI will defend tribal sovereignty loudly and aggressively if necessary, and we will do so every single time it is threatened. And while my time on stage is limited, I do want to touch on these 2 points in just a little more detail. First, as I said, NCAI is prepared to work with this new administration and the new Congress on shared priorities for the betterment of our people. While the reality is that Indian country saw a lot of gains in the last 4 years, it is also true that the next 4 years open up new opportunities for progress. While it's true that there are policy issues likely that will be challenging to make headway on with this new presidential administration, there are also areas where a great deal of progress is possible. For example, with the work at the National Center, prioritizing tribal nation economic development can and should be a part of President Trump's strategy to grow the economy. And related to that, there is a window of opportunity to engage with this administration on tax reform in a way that has not been possible for a long time. The current administration's distrust of the IRS opens up new doors for advocacy that could have lasting consequences for generations of our people. Another opportunity is in the energy sector. And while we must, of course, be careful, the reality is that federal regulations and bureaucratic red tape have prevented many tribal nations from getting into the energy sector or prevented them from expanding as they've desired. We have a chance now to make changes that put us in the driver's seat with respect to energy policy on our own lands. Additionally, President Trump has repeatedly talked about the need to improve public safety and justice across the country, and has specifically talked about the impacts of drugs and the opioid crisis. In Indian country, we don't need anyone to tell us the tragedies that have piled up on our communities due to opioids, limited health service, and jurisdictional challenges to exercising our own police powers on our own lands. This too is another chance for us to work with the current administration and Congress to find meaningful solutions to our common priorities. The reality is that NCAI, with a large number of our partner organizations and intertribal organizations, have already had to engage the current administration in defense of tribal sovereignty. NCAI has never defended tribal sovereignty alone, and we absolutely cannot do so now. That is why I reiterate my commitment to you as tribal nation leaders, to tribal organization directors, and our tribal people, that we want to be a good partner to you in your efforts. NCAI has a unique ability to amplify the voice of Indian country, but we can only do that if Indian country comes together and continues to speak up. And to this end, many of our intertribal organizations, our sister organizations, have been working tirelessly to capture that voice. If you go to our website, ncaii.org, and many other of our sister orgs, we have a portal there where we want to hear the stories. And as we talk to members of Congress, they too want to hear specific stories on how the rifts, the layoffs, all these actions have negatively affected our people, and they want to hear those specific stories. So please go check out the website and please share that information with us so that we can make sure that your voices are heard. I do want to end this speech the same way I've ended others in the past. It truly is an honor to be Executive Director of NCAI. It's an honor to get to talk to you all as tribal leaders and all of those that work day in and day out for our sovereignty and for our people. It's an honor to serve Indian country. And so please, if there's anything NCAI can do for you and your tribal nation, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are only as strong as our members, and we want to hear from you. We want to know what's going well in your communities and what isn't. We want to serve and give Indian country the NCAI it deserves. And we can only do that if we're working toward that goal together. NCAI is prepared to work hand in hand with our partner organizations and with each and every one of you as tribal leaders and all of those that work on behalf of Indian country to protect our people. We want to forge those paths forward together. And so I look forward to having more conversations, to hearing from you, so that we all can continue to work to strengthen and protect our tribal sovereignty more each and every day. Gatega, Wiblahan, Sheno. Thank you.